Hello YouTube, welcome back to my playthrough of LA Noire. If you guys are enjoying this series, please do drop a like. It helps the series out a lot.
Hello, Miss Lichtman. How long have you been sitting there?
Not long, Mr. Kelso.
You look lovely, Princess. You haven't exactly caught me at my best. It's okay, Miss Lichtman. I'm a big boy. I know how to take my licks.
Please, call me Elsa.
Okay, Elsa? What can I do for you?
I'd like to explain because
I can join the dots, Elsa.
Cole needs your help, Jack. The police department have frozen him out.
Look, you're obviously a brave lady, but you can't fight all Cole's battles for him.
I just wanted to apologize for...
You don't have to apologize. You were right about Elysian Fields. Tell me something. What was Lou Buckwalter's regular job?
He was a carpenter. He built sets for RKO, Warner Brothers.
Set carpenter? Perfect. If you don't mind, Elsa, I'd like to get a little rest now. I've got a lot more dots to join, and it's making my head hurt.
That's perfectly understandable, Mr. Jack. I hope we can meet again under less dramatic circumstances.
I hope so too, Princess. I'd like that.
You Kelso?
Who's asking?
Peterson, Assistant DA.
You're in the wrong building, Peterson. This is a hospital.
A wise guy. Let me tell you a story, Kelso.
Can I get the abridged version? My head hurts.
You're a funny guy, Jack.
What do you want, Peterson?
A colorful character mentioned your name. He said that you might know something about...
There's a problem with colorful characters, Peterson. First they send you over a drink, then they buy you dinner, then you get a phone call in the middle of the night for a favor. Try rubbing shoulders with some solid citizens. They're the ones you're supposed to protect.
You finished, Kelso?
For the moment.
I'm going to run for DA, Kelso. The current administration stinks.
And you want me to help?
I'm looking for a DA's investigator. You get a gun and a badge and $120 a month.
I get $150 a month now.
I'm going after the Vice Squad, Kelso. It's going to get me elected.
I've got something better.
Course.
How about Leland Monroe?
The property developer?
You think I fell down the stairs?
So, this guy, we don't have any indication that he's corrupt yet, but he's not doing this out of the kindness of his heart. He's doing this primarily because he wants to get elected. And this is what a lot of people don't know, is that in America, we elect our prosecutors, or district attorneys. District attorney is the prosecutor for your area. And when it comes to elections...
Thanks for the patch-up, Princess. It might be the only R&R I get for some time.
When it comes to elections, is people will research heavily their mayor candidate, their governor, their senator, their congressman, their presidential candidate, but guess what they don't research? The district attorney. And district attorney is one of those things that is very, very important, because district attorney controls crime in your area. He has discretion on what he can and can't prosecute, and he will, set the punishment for criminals. So, a district attorney that can be, very weak on crime can be very dangerous, and crime can skyrocket. And unfortunately, people, when it comes to this, people, a lot of times vote based on party. They vote based on Democrat or Republican, and they don't research specifically on what the district attorney does in their area, and then they wonder why crime is skyrocketing in their areas, because you got a stupid district attorney that is not doing his job. And so this guy primarily, wants to stop the corruption because he just wants to get elected. And I will tell you guys a story. I will tell you guys 2 stories. One about and this is not based on politics, so I'm not really bringing up politics in this, but I'll tell you guys 2 stories. One about a corrupt, or I don't know if I would really call him corrupt, more incompetent, stupid, district attorney, and also a second, district attorney. One's a Democrat, one's a Republican. Both terrible, district attorneys. First, Democrat district attorney. This was in San Francisco. I'm pretty sure this was San Francisco. So somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody who's in California will probably know this story. Basically, this district attorney got elected in San Francisco, and he was very weak on crime, letting criminals out early, very lenient sentences. He wasn't prosecuting a lot of people for crimes. He was dropping a lot of charges. And so because of that, what happened was thefts had skyrocketed. Like, thefts were just skyrocketing. People were shoplifting like crazy. Cars were getting stolen like crazy. Drugs just went through the roof. Like, the amount of people using drugs, it just got out of control. And San Francisco had, like, insanely high crime rate. And what happened was, in California, of a recall election where you can basically recall candidates to, politicians to get them kicked out. You can even do that to the governor. And what happened is, this district attorney got recalled. He got kicked out of office. I don't know who replaced him, what happened, the new election. I don't know if the new guy's better, but he got kicked out. And when he got kicked out, he was making such a big deal out of it, and he's like, oh, Republicans had, speared me, and they tried to make me look bad, and so because of that, I got kicked out of office. But it wasn't a Republican plot. It was, Democrats and Republicans had came together and had voted this guy out because this guy was not doing his job and he was an idiot, and crime had skyrocketed in San Francisco. So that was the stupid, Democrat district attorney. But now let's go to the stupid Republican district attorney. This district attorney, I don't remember the state where this happened, so I apologize for that. I remember it was just a case that I watched a documentary on it because I used to watch a lot of documentaries on murder mysteries a long time ago. But basically, there was this woman who had divorced her husband, and she was living with her friend. And what happened was the, ex-husband got pissed off. He went to the ex-wife's, friend's apartment, killed her and her friend. And basically what happened is he was seen in the area. There wasn't like direct DNA evidence that linked him to it, but he was seen in the area and he lied about it. He basically lied about not being in the area. And he said that his vehicle wasn't spotted in the area, but what he did was he basically drove his pickup truck a few miles towards the wife's friend's apartment, and then he had a bicycle in the back of the pickup truck. And then what he did was he then rode the bicycle to the apartment where the ex-wife was staying with her friend, and killed both of them. And he claimed that, my car was not spotted in the area, I was not in the area, I was not there at all. So there wasn't direct DNA evidence, but people saw him riding the bicycle, they saw him putting the bicycle in the back of the pickup truck, and so there was so much circumstantial evidence that he was pretty much the guy, and he did it. There was no question about it, he was pretty much the guy who did it. And what happened was, the prosecutor, he was a Republican prosecutor, he did not want to prosecute this guy because he said there's not enough evidence. But you can prosecute somebody based on circumstantial evidence also, and there's a lot of circumstantial evidence against this guy. It was obvious the wife had no other enemies, it was just this guy who did it. And the wife's family was getting really pissed off at the prosecutor, and the prosecutor said, I can't prosecute this, I have an election coming up. He actually said that to the family. He said, I don't have time to prosecute this, I have an election coming up. So you know what the family did? The family went to the media and said, this is what the prosecutor is doing. He's not prosecuting this guy, he killed, our family member, and he killed her friend too, and he's gonna get away with it because the stupid prosecutor is saying that his election is coming up and he doesn't want to deal with this right now. The media started airing the story, and guess what happened? The second the media started airing the story, they finally, the prosecutor went after the guy. So he wasn't going after the murderer beforehand, but when the media started talking about it, and it made his election look bad, that's the point when he started going after the, guy. They eventually arrested the guy, and eventually I think he confessed to it, so he did end up doing it. But like I said, that prosecutor was incompetent, so you got a stupid Democrat and a stupid Republican DA. So just don't think it's just specifically party lines. But the only thing that I'm saying is when it comes to prosecutors, district attorneys, when it comes to election time, please research your district attorney and research their policies on crime, their record. How are they going to deal with crime? Because I'm telling you, if you got a really bad and stupid, incompetent prosecutor, crime is going to skyrocket in your area, and you don't want that, because that's going to affect everything. It's going to affect your property value, crime increases in your area. It's going to affect taxes, because city is probably going to need more funding for police if crime skyrockets, and it's going to make it less safe for you. So people don't realize how much a district attorney can have an impact in your life.
Remember me?
Jack, it's good to see you. You've caught me at a slightly inopportune moment. Can we do this some other time?
Back off, Curtis. Move away from the door.
Jack, there's no call for that.
You're smooth, Curtis, I'll give you that. You try to get me killed and you still manage to be polite about it.
Jack, how could you accuse me of having anything to do with that?
I want to know all about you and Monroe, Curtis. You give it up or I beat it out of you.
Get the fuck out of here, Jack. You're fired. Who do you think you are?
You shouldn't be saying that to somebody with a gun in your
Get out of
apartment.
town now while you still have the chance. You have no idea what kind of forces you're dealing with here.
I guess we've exhausted the passive options. Sit tight, Curtis. I'm taking a look around.
Looks like Curtis has been doing pretty well for himself. This looks more like a pet house than an apartment. Oh, let me turn on the investigation music.
To get all of the stockholders, I need to follow the
Stocks.
paper trail.
Suburban Redevelopment Fund. 2,000 shares. So back then they didn't have the internet. When it came to buying stocks, they would go to the stockbroker's office. They would get a certificate and how many shares they wanted. 2,000 shares.
What
And what is
exactly
it?
do you expect to find, Jack?
And shares are worth $100 each. Am I getting this right? Is it... Let me just look at this, make sure I'm getting this right. A share is $100 each. And he's got... How many shares has he got here? 2,000 shares? Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm going to do this on a calculator. I'm going to tell you guys how much this would be worth today. Right now. This is an insane amount of money right now. Let's see here.
Jack, you've made a terrible mistake.
We're going to... This is...
Get out while you can.
This is basically about... Yeah, looks like 4,000 shares. Which is $400,000. 4,000 shares at $100 each is $4,000. And $400,000 in 1947. Let's see what that would be. That would be
What exactly do you expect to find, Jack?
$5,635,000 worth of shares. My God, the corruption is out of control here. California Fire and Life, Los Angeles, California. The California Fire and Life Company, in consideration of the premium of $1,105 to be paid per annum, ensures Elysian
Jack,
Fields
you made a
developments
terrible
I knew
mistake.
you were in bed with Elysian, Curtis.
Get out
against
while you can.
Now I know why.
against all losses or damage occurring to Rancho Escondido, located at 5650 Fountain Avenue, in an amount not exceeding $221,000. The California Fire and Life Company has caused these present to be signed and witnessed by an official representative on this time. So this guy owns 4,000 shares in the Suburban Redevelopment Fund, which is tied directly to Leland Monroe, and he's a vice president of an insurance company, and the insurance covers Rancho Escondido,
What exactly do you expect to
which
find,
got burnt
Jack?
down.
I want answers, Curtis. So pay attention.
Please, Jack. I'm not a violent man.
Motive for fraud.
I don't get it, Curtis. You're vice president of the company. Why take the risk?
It's a simple business transaction, dear boy.
No. Let's see what accuses.
You're lying, Curtis. Something happened at the company, didn't it? That's why you took the bribe.
Bribe? What bribe? How can you accuse me of benefiting ahead of the company?
The share certificate.
I noticed that the share certificates are in your name, Curtis, not the company's. What did you use as collateral?
Those sons of bitches in Sacramento. They passed me over for president. Sent me here because they believed it was a backwater. but they were wrong. Los Angeles will become the capital of the West, not San Francisco. This place will be the city of the 20th century. And I'm going to get my cut, Jack.
You're going to jail, Curtis. You and your cronies.
We'll see about that, Jack.
Suburban redevelopment.
Tell me about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
You're talking about the future of Los Angeles. You cannot interfere with these plans.
Information, Curtis.
Business people who have joined forces to meet the demand for new homes.
See what accused.
You're lying, Curtis. They're going to burn those movie sets they call houses, and you're carrying the insurance on them.
And how do you prove that, Jack?
Insurance agreement.
Rancho Escondido burnt to the ground. California Fire and Life is carrying the paper.
Jack, the best result you could get from insurance would be replacement cost. The stakes are much, much higher.
Bookwalter case settlement.
Why the big payoff in the Buckwalter case? It was bound to bring it to attention.
Who could have predicted this particular confluence of events? Elsa Lichtman as the beneficiary who spurns the cash. The brilliant but flawed detective becoming her lover. And you, Jack, taking their bait.
You buy green lumber and use it to build houses. How do you expect it to end?
Mr. Monroe has a fine reputation for building houses. What would I know about his choice of building materials?
Building site lumber marked inferior quality, not for structural use. See what accuses.
You smug son of a bitch, you're lying again. It's an insurance scam, pure and simple.
And how do you prove that, Jack? My assessors wrote the policies on the houses.
Inferior lumber.
If you don't ask, you never find out.
But we don't have proof that he knows directly about the lumber, though. He says assessors. But we don't have proof that he knows directly. Do bad cop.
Give me what I need or I'll beat it out of you.
It's all there in the case file, if you know what to look for.
Very neat, Curtis. Maybe I can't work it out, but Phelps can. He may be many things, but he is one of the best detectives the LAPD has ever had.
Your card is marked, Jack. You'll have an unfortunate accident if you don't leave town.
Your California isn't the same as mine, Mr. Benson. Not at all.
Okay. California Fire and Life. Corporate offices. You know, it's disgusting that they are doing this to veterans. It's bad enough what they're
California drivers.
terrible accident right there. It's bad enough that they're doing this to that this scam is going on, but the fact that they're doing this to World War II veterans, people who fought for their country and are returning from the war. Okay, I'm pretty close.
Control your car.
Yep, looks like we're not having too good of luck right now driving.
I'm just going up to my office, Barty. Gotta check over some files.
Take the elevator. First door on the right when you come out. You know the way, Kelso.
Also, in this time period, they even had some elevators that were actually operated by elevator technicians, but they got rid of them by this time.
And throw my head away.
So, Curtis, what is it you... don't want me to see? 34 degrees, 4 minutes, 29 seconds north. 118 degrees, 17 minutes, 58 seconds west.
There's got to be more in these files. There's...
Insured replacement value for the house is $900. Current value of the house and land is $3,500. Christ, how many of these dumps are we carrying on the books?
I have a Detective Phelps of the LAPD here to see you.
Have a seat, Cole. Where's the go-between? She's awful easy on the eye for a foreign girl.
Does that private dick petter actually work on anyone, Kelso? It's not your style. You were always a little more direct.
This is your dime, officer.
Would you have helped me if I asked, Jack? A little chuck on the shoulder, shot of Semper Fi.
Fuck you, Cole. Be a man. Why send a woman to do your dirty work? You're a cop. Why do you want my help?
I thought a PI might be a little more discreet.
I'm no gumshoe. I used to be an investigator for this company before your investigation got me fired.
I'm sorry to hear that, Jack. I'm sorry about a lot of things.
Is that an apology, Cole?
It's a feeble attempt at one, yes. Look, Jack, it's a murder case, and I need help to solve it.
So what's it got to do with Elysian Fields developments?
They're in it somehow. The flyers keep turning up whenever I find a domestic fire.
They're boosters. Stiffing GIs for deposits, making them wait months for a throw-up house. They're already making more money than they can count. What's turned them into killers?
So you believe me?
This is why you dragged me into the Buckwalter case.
Look, Jack, I'm sorry. But if not for me, do it for some of the poor saps who are dying. Or some of the leathernecks who are getting grifted. How about it, Jack?
I know you, Cole. You're still beating yourself up over that medal on Sugarloaf. The medal you think you didn't deserve, but you just don't get it. Nobody deserves a medal. It's just the ridiculous situation you find yourself in and how you react to it. You think you failed up on that hill. But courage isn't a tap you can turn on or off. Courage isn't permanent. It's a tenuous and fickle thing. Courage and cowardice exist in every man. Get over it.
You got it off your chest.
I guess I have.
Can you help me, Jack?
I'm thinking about it. The Hall of Records is the place to start.
Okay, the Hall of Records. We were here for the serial killer case too, when that chandelier's cursed.
Hello there.
You need some help there, sir?
The Land Registry Office. Where is it?
Just up the stairs.
Thanks.
Marriage License Department. Land Registry Office.
I'd like to see the company details of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Certainly, sir. Just this way.
All those suburban sons of bitches ought to be listed in here.
Okay. Suburban Redevelopment Fund, okay. Benson. Harlan Fontaine.
Courtney, for God's sake, what's he got to do with this? I'd like information on a plot of land.
Okay, do you have the address?
Not exactly. It's a new lot. I have the coordinates. 34 degrees, 4 minutes, 29 seconds north. 118 degrees, 17 minutes, 58 seconds west.
All right, that makes it a bit more difficult. Come with me. I believe that is in the Wilshire area.
34 degrees, 4 minutes, 29 seconds north. 118 degrees, 17 minutes, 58 seconds west. The lot number's 1876988.
Unfortunately, that is just the beginning. We have at least 1 million lot numbers in the Los Angeles area. Registrations are in alphabetical order. You need to convert your lot number to a letter.
How do I do that?
Over here, use this adding machine. There are 90,000 entries to a book, so divide your lot number by 90,000.
One 1876988.
One.
Divided by
90,000, yes.
1876988. An early calculator.
1,876,988 divided by 90,000.
A starts at 0, so you want to add 1 to your number.
21.
That number is your letter of the alphabet. Once you have the letter, find the right aisle, and you are in business.
You do this every day?
Yeah, it's just, okay, let me see here, that number is your letter of the alphabet? Okay, so, 21. A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U. Okay, so U is the 21st letter. Okay, I was just trying to use my fingers to count that. It was just throwing me off a bit. I was getting a little confused. Okay, U, U is the 21st letter.
Let's see what the site is worth to them.
Okay, and I gotta 1876988.
1876988. The book value is $350. With the new home in place, the improved value of the property is $3,500. They can make a killing. But how do they pull it off?
Know why I plumbed for the caddy? The extra trunk space.
One thing you learn in the war, boys. You do your talking once the smoke clears.
Okay. We got payback on those guys, at least that jumped us.
I need a word, Courtney.
That's okay, Jack. You didn't need to come all the way down.
It's important, Courtney.
How can I help?
Tell me about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
What are you talking about?
Don't fuck with me, Courtney!
Jack, I swear, I don't know what you're talking about.
How does your name appear as one of the investors in the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
You're out of your mind.
I was down at the Hall of Records checking on a property company called Elysian Fields Developments. Their funding comes from the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Seriously, Jack, I have no idea.
Your name is there, Courtney, with some pretty interesting company. The mayor, the district attorney, some dirty cops, and your buddy, Dr. Harlan Fontaine.
You know why Courtney's name is on there?
Fontaine?
Spill it.
It's
Courtney.
on there so he's the fall guy for them.
Fontaine and the rest.
Fontaine took the morphine off our hands. Look, Jack, I know you said to get rid of it, but it's okay. I did something good for once. He reinvested the money for us. That's it. That's what's happening. They're building houses for GIs, Jack. I turned a mistake into something beneficial.
Made it worse.
Something that's going to help out the guys.
Courtney, they're building matchstick houses. They're going to burn them for the insurance money. They'll probably stiff the poor bastards for the deposits.
Please, Jack. say it isn't so. Harlan's a doctor. A good one. He helps out a lot of people.
Looks like he's helping himself, Courtney. You're the fall guy.
Answer the telephone.
Jack Kelso.
Who's asking?
Leland Monroe.
I was wondering when you'd get around to calling.
I'd like to meet with you, Mr. Kelso.
I bet you would, Mr. Monroe. But I value my skin highly enough to not want to meet with you. Why don't you just send some more of your boys around and we'll have a nice cup of tea?
You realize that I could make you a very wealthy man, Mr. Kelso.
Better than $220 a month?
You're a very witty man, Kelso. Substantially better.
I'm going to have to let it slide, Mr. Monroe.
Are you haggling with me, Jack?
I might be.
Come around to my place at 9. 5164 Santa Monica Boulevard. You'll come?
I might. Good night, Mr. Monroe.
Okay, Leland Monroe's mansion. So basically, they are lying about the value of the property. They're using really cheap materials from like film sets to build these houses. Then they then they burn them down, and they collect a ton of money from the insurance company, overinflating the value of the home. So the home was never safe, building through cheap material, and they're using that to get massive insurance payouts. And if you think about the amount of houses that he burnt down, imagine the amount of money that they made on each house getting burnt down. Oh, whoa, okay. Yeah, gotta be careful with that.
I appreciate the help, all of you. We can reminisce later. I want a minimum of noise and no prisoners.
No prisoners?
Remember this guy?
This isn't Pelelu, Jack.
These guys are grifting GIs. That's what they do for a living.
It's okay, Jack. We all feel the same way. Just hasn't turned out quite the way we imagined.
Let's get it done. Teams of 2 at the ready.
Keep your head down!
These guys, fought in Okinawa, they fought in Pelelu. This is nothing compared to, what they experienced.
Come get me.
How long do you think you can hold out?
Real clever, asshole. I'm gonna find you.
Almost out. Need a new weapon.
All right, men, hold the perimeter. I got personal business with Mr. Leland Monroe.
Okay.
Two of them on your right.
And then look at this place.
There it is.
Keep on going, Jack.
Do I have the investigator music on? Yes, I do. Okay.
You're a very sweet-looking girl to be holding such a big gun.
I know how to use it, mister.
I'm sure you do. So how about pointing it over there in the direction of Hollywood instead of at me, Princess?
You're quite the wise guy.
I don't normally shoot women, Princess. How about putting the cannon down? I didn't think you had the guts, sweetheart. I was never very good at reading women.
Monroe! Where are you, damn it?
Throw out the guns!
God damn!
Jack Kelso.
That's my opening negotiating position.
Oh, you crazy son of a bitch! How did you get in here? I'm bleeding to death. Get me a doctor.
I thought I had an invitation, Monroe. Your boys outside were certainly expecting me. That's my second offer.
You sadistic bastard! What do you want?
I'm going to take a look around, Monroe. Then I want you to tell me what you know about the mayor and those Trojan houses that you're building.
When he says Trojan houses, he's referring to the ancient city of Troy, because the Trojans thought that the Greeks had signed a peace agreement with them, that they made a peace agreement, that they didn't want to fight anymore, but they gave them a big wooden horse as a gift. But inside there was actually Greeks, and that's how they took the city. So it was the whole thing was basically a trap. It was meant to look like a gift, but it was just, that's basically when people say Trojan horse, what they mean is they mean something that isn't what it seems to be. It's basically a trap.
Suburban Redevelopment Fund. Remind me what they say about absolute power, Monroe.
Fuck you, Jack. Call me an ambulance already.
Dr. Fontaine, I need to speak with you urgently.
Sit down, please, sit down.
Tell me about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
It's the fund we are using to channel money into the development of new houses.
Why is my name on the board of managers?
Technically, you are a major contributor. Please, Courtney.
Those houses are a sham, Doctor. They're going to be burned for the insurance.
That's a scandalous allegation, Courtney. Do you have any proof?
Jack Kelso, an investigator for California Fire and Life, has seen them. He was almost killed when he found out what was going on.
I don't know what to say. I feel that I have been duped. Who do you think is behind this subterfuge?
Jack says it's a property developer named Monroe. He said it goes all the way to the mayor.
You cannot have believed that I was involved.
I don't know what to believe anymore, Doctor. I hope that you weren't involved.
Thank you for your trust, dear boy. Be still, Courtney. All of your troubles are finally over. Let them go. Let them drift away.
Fontaine's one of the most manipulative characters ever. But we're gonna get him later. God, look at all this money. 4,000 shares.
I'm guessing Benson's portfolio is only a fraction the size of yours, Monroe.
What's this?
That's a hell of a payroll.
This is basically people that he's been paying off. Roy Earl right there, amount $450, vice detective. Roy appears... Wow. Roy appears 3 times here. Criminal intelligence report on Dr. Harlan Jane Fontaine. Dr. Harlan Jane Fontaine is implicated in the supply and distribution of narcotics in the greater L.A. County area. In his capacity as a clinical psychiatrist, he has dispensed large quantities of contraband morphine to drug dealers and users under the pretext of prescribing treatments for his patients. So he lied to Courtney that the morphine was going to be used in clinics. He was selling them to drug dealers. Between July 8th and September 3rd, 1947, 22 suspects arrested for narcotic possession claimed that the drugs were medications given to them to alleviate the symptoms of various psychiatric illnesses. Several showed paperwork to this effect. No pattern was noticed by arresting officers, however, and no further action taken since each charge amounted to no more than a misdemeanor, and the suspects were processed across 4 separate divisions: Central Hollywood, University, and Highland Park. Misdemeanor is a crime that's punishable by under a year in prison, typically in jail. Felony is over a year in prison, and it's in prison. There's a difference between jail and prison. Prison is for more serious crimes. On September 7, 1947, after lengthy interrogation, suspect Reginald Barclay offered the name of an associate he knew only as Dr. Fontaine. See interview transcript 510-0907-47. Barclay stated that Fontaine was a selling party in a deal he brokered with Willie Baines Foster, yet to be apprehended. Foster is known to LAPD administration's vice as a high-ranking courier for Mayor Harris Cohen. Oh, man. On August 28th, again on September 6th, and then on September 12th, 1947, Dr. Fontaine visited a men's haberdashery on Sunset Boulevard. A haberdashery known to be owned and operated by Mayor Harris Cohen. On all the 3 occasions, Dr. Fontaine was inside for more than an hour. 2 days after his final visit, on September 14th, a shipment of morphine with a street value of $4,000 was moved from a house in Brentwood to an east downtown warehouse, where upon it disappeared. It is the opinion of this officer that Dr. Harlan Fontaine is a significant figure in the supply and distribution of narcotics in Los Angeles, with close ties to organized crime. Recommend that he be kept under close surveillance until such time as a comprehensive legal brief can be assembled. Yours sincerely, Roy Earl, Chief Detective Administration Vice Squad. And, yeah, Roy...
Smart. Keep the dirt on Fontaine under lock and key. This is your insurance.
Yep. This is in case Fontaine betrays him. Morelli.
Some sold up. The others obviously didn't know the lengths these sons of bitches would go to.
It can't be stopped, Kelso. There's too much money at stake.
Kingdoms rise and kingdoms fall, Monroe. Ask the Emperor of Japan.
Have some fucking mercy!
Operator, put me through to Phelps, arson squad. Yeah, Biggs, it's Jack. I'm at Monroe's. He's in a talkative mood. If you get here in a hurry, you might get something before he bleeds to death. Elsa.
Oh, thank God.
Where? Fontaine. Dead? Former patient.
So that crazy son of a bitch finally came back for a checkup.
It's Monroe. He's raving.
You want information, cocksucker. You get me some medical help.
I've got to go, Herschel. Monroe's negotiating again. Do you want my final offer, Leland? Tell me how I find the guy who has Elsa.
Nutcase, he did whatever Fontaine asked. He had some kind of power over him. He did all the fires and then he went off the rails. I don't have a fucking name! He worked as a bug sprayer. Get me a goddamn doctor! Kelso, you son of a whore! Get me a goddamn doctor!
Oh, did I get all the clues? 7 out of 7. Right, nice. Search Benson's apartment. You will find he deserves much worse than a smack in the mouth. Okay, so we got Valor for that one. Let me see if there's a World War II flashback here. Let's see. Oh, no, there isn't. Okay. Okay. So, I guess we will wrap this up here, guys. Thank you guys for watching. The next one is going to be the DLC case. So, the DLC case I've never played before, so you guys will see that me playing that for the first time. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.